everybody. Welcome to Charita's Easy Kitchen. It's a Wednesday night, and we took a day off yesterday because we had a little bit of illness, a little bit of feeling down, and so we took the day off and we recovered nicely, and really appreciate y'all's patience with us. So tonight you get a bonus if you're tuning in because we're going to make 2 recipes instead of 1. And so what I have here is some olive oil in a pot. This West African chicken stew is the recipe I'm using. And it calls for peanut oil. If you have peanut oil, great. Because it's a peanut-based sauce. So, but I don't have peanut oil and I'm not going to buy peanut oil just to make this recipe. So then it calls for, there you go. It calls for 1 onion chopped, and the recipe called for 3 sweet potatoes. I only did 2 because we are trying to cut carbs a little bit, but I know we need the sweet potatoes to thicken. And if you're following the recipe that I posted, and I'll repost again tonight, it says to do the onion with the garlic and ginger first. It says to do the onion with the garlic and ginger first, but I am doing the onion and the sweet potato because I know the garlic and ginger are going to burn if I cook them too long, and I know my onion needs to cook and my sweet potatoes need to cook longer. So I'm got those in the pot, stirring them in the oil a little bit. Going to add a little bit of salt and pepper to that. And if you see, I don't know if you can see in there, there's a black speck. What I did, this recipe calls for diced chicken to be added, and I ordered boneless, skinless chicken thighs to use for this recipe. And what Kroger so graciously gave me instead, because they have a substitution policy when they don't have what I want, they gave me bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs. So the way I feel about that is when you like use your lemon to make lemonade. So I pre-cooked these thighs a little bit and browned them. I'll let you see here. And I'm going to put those whole into the stew in a little bit because they're not cooked all the way through yet. So we're going to let them cook in with these seasonings and everything once we get this all mixed together. But I did brown up the skin and crisp it really well. So now that we've got that going and our onions are softening, we're going to add our garlic and our ginger. And I have 2 cloves of garlic. I believe I've shown you this device before. It's a zester. It's for zesting citrus and things like that, but it works great for if you like your garlic and ginger to be kind of fine, and you don't get great big chunks of it in a bite. If you're a true garlic lover and you like it in big chunks, just chop it. That's perfectly fine. You can also buy garlic already minced in a jar. That's perfectly fine as well. I happen to have garlic cloves here, so I'm using them. But I typically use the jarred garlic quite often, so that's perfectly fine. And then the ground ginger, or the fresh ginger, I peeled a finger of ginger. And again, if you don't have fresh ginger, you can use dried, if you have dried spice. Just want to go a little light on it at first with the dried because it's a stronger flavor. And a little goes a long way. Add to as you go. Taste, let it simmer and then taste and get it to where you like it. Some people like a lot of ginger flavor, some people don't. And we really like it. And this is going to give it that really nice pungent flavor with the peanuts butter. Going to add to it a lot. All right. I've got that all done. I like the zester too. You can grate ginger with a fine regular setting grater, but you have more chance of grating fingers. With the zester, I don't anyway, tend to get my fingers in there because it's fine enough. All right. We're going to mix all that in and let that go for another minute or 2. So I think at this point in that recipe that I posted, it says to add the chicken to cook it. But of course, we've already kind of pre-cooked the chicken a little bit, and we're going to add it back in. So we're going to skip that part for now. And we're going to add in our liquid, which it calls for, piece of paper? Sorry, my hand got in the way. Our recipe calls for 3 cups of chicken stock. So I've got, that's about a little over a cup because I've already taken out almost, well, it's about 2 cups because I took out about 2 cups for the boy.
You might want to pour the opposing hand.
Oh, good idea. Thank you.
Instead of by the camera.
And so we're going to add some chicken stock, and we're going to let this cook for a little bit. We need to add a little bit of, it says red pepper flakes. I have these, it's a red hot sprinkle, which is a variety of pepper. And I'm going to use the sprinkle side, because if I use the pour side, we would not be eating tonight. We would be at the hospital probably. But we do like a little spice in our food, so we're going to add a pretty generous amount. And you can always add more at the table too. So if you have folks who like things milder, kids and things like that, just leave it off altogether and put it on the table and let the adults add to it as they want to. All right, so we want to let this cook down a little bit. Make sure I didn't forget anything. And and I'm going to go ahead and put the chicken in and let this start absorbing some of those juices and giving its juices off. So we're going to put that, and that chicken is not burned, by the way. I know it looks kind of funky, like black, but I seasoned it. I'll show you here what I seasoned this chicken with. This is not in the recipe, but this is called Flame Tree Spice Rub. My daughter brought it to us from Disney, and from the Animal Kingdom. It's one of their popular rubs that they use on their some of their entrees there. So she brought me back a jar of that for Christmas.
Flame Tree Grill.
Yeah, it's from the Flame Tree Grill. And she brought me that, but it is, it's got a lot of those flavors in it that they use in the African dishes. So what I did was I dusted the chicken all over with that before I sauteed it and crisped it. So there's a little bit of that flavor. It's not going to be very strong, but it's not going to be just chicken either. It's going to have a little bit of a ethnic flavor to it. So we're going to let that simmer for a little while and soften those potatoes up. About 15 minutes is what we want to do. And in the meantime, we're going to show you, because we missed last night and we were supposed to do the crock pot chicken stew, and we missed that. We are going to show you how to do that tonight. We're going to go ahead and mix that up, and then I'm going to put it in the refrigerator tonight and get it out in the morning and set it out and turn it on to cook it before I go to work tomorrow, so that it'll be ready for dinner tomorrow night. So dinner tomorrow night will be taken care of for us already. And I'm going to let Xander take over, and he's going to show you how to make that. So I'm going to move the camera around here just for a second.